Hello, my name is Jessica Maroney. I'm from Jupiter, Florida, and I'm studying film at Full Sail University. I'd like to walk you through a brief history of evolution of sound in the motion picture industry, and share with you some of the most important innovations of sound that helped revolutionize modern cinema. We may take for granted the pleasure of sound in films, because once upon a time, movies were silent. Today, we perhaps always prefer to watch film with sound. However, early silent film audiences seemed perfectly happy with silent films, perhaps because the movies were never really completely silent, almost always accompanied by music of some kind. More important than audience satisfaction with silence, however, we must go back to the earliest inventions to recognize that experiments were being carried out using sound as well as pictures from the very beginning of motion picture itself. Thomas Edison produced the phonograph in 1877, which was the earliest attempt to synchronize music with picture. Many other inventions attempted to do the same, however none of them were successful due to technical impossibilities such as amplification of matched sound and visuals in such a way that an audience could hear. It wasn't until the 1920s that studios began experimenting with technology that would synchronize and amplify sound with film without any difficulties. Thanks to Lee DeForest, his Audion tube made high-power amplifiers possible and talking pictures practical. DeForest is also essential in the development of taking pictures by introducing the sound-on-film technology, the phonofilm, in 1923. The quality of the phonofilm was poor at first and improved in later years, but was never able to match the fidelity of sound-on-disc systems such as the Vitaphone.
This marvelous invention, Vitaphone, you are also going to be able to hear him talk as well as sing. And oh, mamma, how that bird can warble.
I want to sing it jazzy. Now get this. Blue sky, smiling at me, me, nothing but little blue sky.
Well, that was great, wasn't it?
In 1926, the Warner Brothers was the first to embrace one of the most important innovations in motion picture filmmaking, the Vitaphone system. Instead of recording sound on film, sound was recorded on disc. The first film to use dialogue with sound was the talkie, the jazz singer. Surprisingly, it was not the music and singing, but the talking that excited audiences. The studio completely revolutionized the industry, bringing the silent era to an end in 1929. Pictures were better than ever, and no one thought of them as silent films anymore. They were called the movies. By the early 1930s, the talkies were a global phenomenon, and they had helped secure Hollywood's powerful position in the industry. As soon as the major film producing companies realized that sound was not just a passing fad, they rushed to convert their studios and theaters for sound film called talkies. The popular coming of sound in films influenced many changes in the industry. As expensive as sound was, it proved to be even more profitable, and movie attendance skyrocketed. By the early 1930s, Hollywood was beginning to solve any technical problems that sound film production still had. Due to camera noise and limited mobility, the blimp was invented. Soon it became a standard piece of equipment because it allowed actors to move around on set while still delivering their lines. One of the most successful early uses of sound in film was Walt Disney's first sound cartoon, Steamboat Willie. It was the first film to completely create a soundtrack including sound effects, music, and dialogue. These innovations carried out throughout time have had major impacts on the motion picture cinema to make it what it is today. The next time you watch a film, appreciate it took years and numerous attempts to create the technology that allows us to enjoy the films we watch now.